And the one thing I like about them is like, this used to be like the old Tyndall unit where they used to measure out velocities. This can measure out peak velocity, peak power, mean velocity, mean power. And the goal really for this is like to identify special strength, right? So like if I want to go speed strength, I can identify it based off of velocities. Now, I just, you know, as you train, you get an eye for it, and as you coach, you know how fast the bar should move. When we do this in the beginning, it's kind of like prepping us to understand our own speed. And then if I throw different tension gradients on, let's say for instance I throw chains on or I throw bands on, I gotta know what type of load I need to put on the bar in order for me to get the stimulus adaptation of whatever special strength we're trying to acquire. So like if we're going 2 set of chain, right? I don't know my 2 set of chain on 0.8 meters per second. So we're gonna find out today, right? Now if I go, we're gonna throw red bands, double red band on it, right? I know exactly what I need to throw on the bar for me to get 0.8, 1.0, stuff like that, because I've already done it, right? But the minute you change that pattern, or the minute you change, you know, a certain variation, then you want to get a basic outline. So this is just a basic understanding. Once you have the data, just clock it down, and then we just grow from there. Because it's really what you start at. If you can maintain that speed and you still see the bar moving fast, well then you're not going outside of the special strength that you're trying to work. The minute you see the bar speed slow up, you know, drop it down or shut it down. If it's too, usually it's probably because you're fatigued. So we're just gonna work up. So you got that?
It's already set up floor press and everything, should throw weight and stuff like that.
Yeah. So it's gonna record. Go ahead and set up for me. Down fast, go.
So he's ideally trying to get one, like that's like the best you could do is one.
As far as 1.0?
Yeah.
So like, there's levels of velocities that you want to hit based off of what you need. Right. So when you go 0.5 meters per second, that's right around strength speed, right? And everybody has a different, like if you look at you know Brian Mann, you ever heard of Brian Mann? Brian Mann is like the guy who basically brought VBT and velocity-based training to the masses. He's actually in Miami, University of Miami.
Oh, nice.
If I could set it up next time you come down, we'll meet each other. But
that'd be awesome.
He's the man. But he has a different like velocity range for special strengths. Like if you talk to Louis, his speed strength is 1.0 meters per second, or 0.8 plus 1.0, 0.8 to 1.0, my bad, long day. Anything higher than that, you're looking at explosive power, right? And then anything higher than that, you're looking at 2.0, that's like max speed, max velocity, right? Lower than 0.3 is usually gonna be 90+%. So you already know based off of the velocities where your percentage is gonna be. Right? So let's go ahead.
That reach up pretty high, like the strength for squats and stuff?
Oh yeah, you can say, that's why we have it. So you can squat, you can deadlift, you can do all that.
Wow, am I like pausing at the bottom and then exploding, or what kind of cadence you looking for there?
So I do want you to pause, but it's not like a powerlifting pause. Like you can go squeeze, I say kiss the ground with the elbow and then pop it up.
Elbow.
Just don't bounce. Tricep elbows, your triceps are big, so you shit ain't gonna get there. Let's go. One more. Okay, so now even with that speed that you had on there, right? Because the chain, right, and the range is 0.76. So it's right there. It's almost that speed strength. So I would let this be speed strength just because of the chains and every other variable. But now that we throw more weight on there, we're gonna reach. I want to reach about 0.5, 0.4. And let's work in that range, because that's going to be about 80-85%.
And at that 0.5, 0.4, what is your typical rep scheme for that?
So if you're looking at 85%, you're looking at triples.
Okay.
Right? Something like that.
Okay.
If we want to go RPE 9-10, right? And usually you'll take it there. I don't want to take it anywhere higher than 10, obviously.
Yeah.
Can't. But see you later?
Yep.
All right. I want to leave one in the tank. So I'll
Okay.
say 9, whatever the fuck 9.5 is. I don't know.
Okay.
But you know how people do that.
Yeah.
Like, what is 9.5? I don't know. But yeah.
9 fails.
All right, let's get 5, huh?
5.
5 reps, yep. Lock it in. Come down quicker.
Thank you.
That. See that?
0.45.
Yeah, see now. See how fucking slower it went,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And it's just because, one, it's the range of motion too as well. So if we were going like with the squat with this, you would have more velocity because more range of motion, right?
So you think if it was down to the chest, it would be a little higher?
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely. I would say that right there, just based off the eye, like that's speed strength.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It can be even a little bit heavier, you know? But our goal is to get to, like for this, I want to see some bit of strain, right?
Okay.
I want to see, you know, that bar speed slow down to a degree of, okay, you know, like it's going to take you roughly 1 to 2 seconds to power it up.
Okay.
1, 2, like that, as opposed to a split second.
As a coach, are you measuring that like strictly on bar speed, or are there any other things that you look for that'll kind of tell you that there's a lot of strain besides the obvious?
Breakdown?
Uh-huh.
I mean, yeah, like as far as compensation, things like that,
Okay.
absolutely. I'll shut it down if there's some compensation going on,
Okay.
regardless. If that bar, like the distance the bar is traveling, or I should say the distance, the formation of the bar, right? So if it's pulling back or you're not stable, then obviously we'll shut it down.
Okay.
I'm also looking at lat engagement, right? So if the lats come off, you know, things like that. And then control on the eccentric.
Okay.
Right, so that's the big thing. You see that thing just crash down, right? It's very hard to reproduce force, right? So we want control coming down, exploding up, and that bar path needs to be in line.
Yes, sir.
Average was 0.37.
See now, you would say if that was based off of velocities, you could say, well, based off velocity, that's a high percentage. That's really not. Now at the top, you're looking at 100 at the top, because this is 50 each.
Okay.
So it's 25, 25, right? So you got 1/3, let's say 120. I don't know, I gotta do fucking math. It's fucking kilos. 35. You got the 2.2, what is it?
Shit.
I mean, it's somewhere around, it's like 230, something like that, right at the
Okay.
top.
At the top.
So ideally, if you look at the percentage of load and you're looking at the weight on the bar at the top range, that makes sense.
Okay.
Right? Because that's going to be right around your 80% if that is the full range. But since it's deloaded at the bottom, you're getting a little kick,
I see.
right? And if you're strong at the top, right, it's not gonna be accurate as much. I'm stronger at the top. I don't know about you, but I'm like I can lock out a lot better than I actually get off the chest.
Okay.
So I need to actually work more upper back.
Okay.
And dumbbells like you do, right? All right, let's go up.
If this might be a dumb question, but like as a coach, like let's say it ended up at 0.37, you're looking at you're ideally shooting for a 0.4. Is that close enough to 0.4 to you to stick there, or do you want to drop it a little bit to try to get to that 0.4? Like, would you round up essentially?
So I'll go to 0.3 and I'll shut it down after 0.3.
Okay.
And then I'll go, okay, I can get, like if I don't want to get a true max, like if I don't want to take them to a 1 rep just because of technical like dysfunction, I'll make sure they go to 0.3. We'll go to 2 to 3 reps.
Okay.
Shut it down, and then I can calculate that off of their percentage of velocity.
Okay.
Right, so now if you're 0.3, you should be right around, based upon the velocity, you should be right around, 0.3 should be 90, 89, 90%.
Okay.
And then you calculate that.
Interesting.
Right? Let's go. You need to rack it on? Sorry. I guess I gotta go faster next time.
That's like, this is really interesting.
Why is it not moving?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Next little stuff.
I was waiting for
It's so fast, it's not moving.
Yeah, I was filming, I was confused. Yeah, that's right, you said something was gonna move here.
My goodness. Look faster than mine.
I'm just playing. Yeah, 0.43. So
Oh, nice. So yours actually went up from the.
I'm feeling the weight now.
Interesting.
Yeah, and honestly, when you do dynamic work, how much like do you ever do dynamic effort work?
Not specifically like this. Not too much. No.
So like your nervous system starts to like tap in.
Okay.
Right? And like I didn't warm up or anything. So like this is my warm up, right?
Okay.
So essentially, you should be getting faster if you know how to move the weight.
Okay.
So if I put bands or chains or whatever, like your nervous system should be tapped in on like set 3.
Okay.
It should start going faster, especially if the weight stays the same.
Interesting.
You
Okay.
know what I mean?
To a certain degree, does a heavier weight recruit more velocity to then make it faster as long as the jump isn't too high?
No. So heavier weight's gonna increase force, which is gonna increase power.
Okay.
As long as you stay high in your velocities.
Okay.
So your intent has to be fast.
Okay.
And the moment we can get into the point where we're still moving heavy weights fast, then we can increase power.
Okay.
Right? So that's just on physics, right? But the goal is to move heavy weights as fast as possible, right? Because the faster you can move them, the less strain you have, and the more you can lift. You know, that's primarily what it is.
Okay.
Like you only have so much time to strain. You know, whether it be a max lift or whatever. Like some people can strain for a fucking long time. You know, I know a couple of power lifters that know how to do that, where you're like, damn, I didn't think that was coming up. And then all of a sudden it comes up, you know? And then some guys, especially athletes, they don't know how to strain, right? So like, they'll get to a sticking point and they're not grinding that shit out. They'll just bail, right? But they lost all of that opportunity to get stronger. So like, we got to teach those fast guys to be strong and the strong guys to be fast.
Okay.
See what I mean? That's why I like both sides of the force velocity curve, especially if you're trying to build a well-rounded athlete. Powerlifting, it may not be necessarily needed to that degree for dynamic work, but it is a good change of pace. It's a good way to still do something light, right? To change off of like your, you know, heavy efforts or max efforts, and still be athletic and move fast.
Okay.
You know, it kind of keeps the powerlifter athletic if you can do that.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, there you go. Let's go. Come on. Come on. Oh, come on. Oh. Good, got it. Well, damn.
0.19.
0.19.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, now that is an accurate. You murdered that shit.
So what do you think would have caused that?
I think it's just the line of pull and the distance. That's all it is. Floor press is hard to kind of gauge with the velocities. Like the best way they usually gauge is off like cleans and shit. So you gotta think triple extension and all that. Cause that range of motion is definitely gonna dictate that overall level of velocity.
Okay.
The
Yeah, makes
more
sense.
distance you cover, the higher amount of velocity you can expel. So I think it's just a range of motion.
Okay.
Because it's super quick, right? Right here,
Yeah.
we're both short. Well, you got longer arms than me. Fuck, man. Damn, bro. Can I get something? Shit, don't do that. Make your chest look bigger.
You got the beard, you got the voice.
I got the beard and the voice.
I think
It's
you'll be
tattoos,
okay with-
man.
Yeah.
All right. There we go.
Let's go, Phil. Oh. Yours. Nice. Go, Phil. Nice, Phil. Nice. Sweet.
Yeah, felt like hell. What was that? Yep. I felt like shit. That's all I'm gonna do with that. Okay. Come on. Let's go. Right there. Come on. Oh, One more. Easy. Good, right? Good shit.
Thank you.
Jeez. That's fucking good, man.
He said it was good.
It's not bad. So you're looking at like, let's just say 267, 268, I don't know, kilos. But it's 100 plus at the top, so you're looking at 3 something at top, 370 at top.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, and you're pretty much off the ground, so that's all the weight.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
absolutely.
Basically 405. Call my high school football coach.
Yeah.
Yours. Nice. Nice, Phil. Big one. Oh, it's there. It's there. Nice. Hell yeah.
Woo. Oh, shit myself.
All right. It's all good.
Oh, good boy. Let's go. Get up. There you go. Get one. Oh, good, good. Finish, 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 finish. Good. Good job.
Thank you.
I ain't fucking with that. You're looking at well over 4 at the top. Yeah,
that's
well
nice.
over 4. So, it's fucking good. And at a floor press with no leg drive.
Right.
See what I'm saying? So, keep pressing, man.
For you, not that it'd be the same for everybody, but what, you know, not that you would test your max bench, but like, how far off is this usually for you?
Man, you know what? I'm gonna say it's like, ain't higher than about 15 pounds off.
Okay. Yeah. You know, to some degree, like sometimes the floor press or rack or like a box pull can be harder.
Well, I would say this. Without the leg drive, it's probably about 20 to 25 pounds, right? Because, I mean, obviously, I'm gonna use everything, right? And I'm more lower body strength than anything, right? So my upper body, depending, I had like 2 or 3 pec tears and shit, like just from fighting, you know what I mean?
Not powerlifting.
No, it was one when I was a young kid and I was just going crazy, like just fucking lifting, and I got too fucking strong too fast, like really, and I was just going, and I was training for, I was an amateur at the time, so I was training and still throwing, so I remember hitting the bag and just feeling it, and then I went the next day and fucking bench pressed. I think I was hitting like 325 like a dumbass, and just felt that thing go, and I was at like a LA Fitness too, so there was no help whatsoever. I was like, shoot, looked around, got the fuck out of the gym. I was like, it's time for me to leave, you know?
Yours. Nice. Let's go, Phil. Nice. Big one. Oh, you got it. Hell yeah. Woo.
Yo, some drops of shit right there.
That'll be on the OnlyFans page.
$49.95. All right,
Maybe it's expensive.
I show them all everything, man. You gotta pay for this shit. Okay, let's drop it down. Okay, you can go 225. All right, and we're gonna go with the chains. Go to, let's do 8 reps with the chains. I'll take the chains off. You just run it. All right, go to about 9, 10 RP.
Okay.
All right, so it drops it. Good. Over. Let's go. Get it. Good. Good. Keep going. Keep going. Right here. Nice. Oh. Good. Good. Right there. All right. Knock them out.
This one's 8 again?
As many as you can here.
Yes, sir.
Let's do it. I'll tell you when. Good, let's work. Let's work, man. Let's work. 4, come on. 5, come on. Let's go. 6, come on. Get up. Up. Come on. Good, give me one more. One more. Up. Keep going. Keep going. Finish it. Finish it. Lock them fucking triceps. Lock them out. Lock them out. Good. You know, I just needed him. I needed to make sure he was able to do this and shit himself just like me.
Well, it wasn't shit, but you know.
other bodily fluids.
I got really excited is all I gotta say. 4, 5, let's go. 6, 7, nice. Oh, you.
All right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, nice. Woo. Nice. Oh, you beat me. Good shit.
I do so.
Oh, yeah. That's because I did the air dive twice.